Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
So we were discussing about the waste. Mm, okay. We studied till transportation. Then next, uh, we will look at motion. Okay. Another uh, form of lean manufacturing waste is motion. So motion includes not only includes raw materials but also people and equipment. It may also include excess physical motion such as reaching, lifting, and bending. So these are all coming under motion. So maybe the transport of raw materials from one place to another, products from one place to another. Not in the terms of transportation by means of truck and container, etc. Those are transportations occurring outside the industry. And transportation inside the industry also we looked at the under transportation waste. Another such one is motion, that is only done by certain equipments, maybe by cranes or by conveyor belts or by people, etc. Okay, these are coming under motions, and even physical motions such as reaching, lifting, and bending. So maybe reaching for a tool that is present beside the workstation, or lifting up a particular product, then bending. So this all takes some time, right? A little time, still time is incurred during these motions. So unnecessary bending, lifting, and reaching is termed as a waste. So even the transportation, if it is over longer distance, it takes some time to reach one place to another. Or if a worker is being used to transport the product by means of lifting it and then transporting it, it takes some time. So these times are basically wastes considered under motion. So, if you are set up an arrangement in which the tools are present in such a manner that you can easily take it. So, if you are sitting in a workshop and if it is nearer to one's arm length, so if it is very close to the arm length and it is sorted and kept in such a manner, you can easily take the equipment, do the work, and then you have to replace it. So so that is what is the coming under motions. So that is a small example. So these are so certain times will be encountered for such a work to be done, and that comes under motion, and these are also non value added time, and this also increases cost. So time is very precious in an industry, so as to increase the productivity. So any unnecessary movements will always result in wastage of time, thereby increasing cost. So common motion waste examples include poor workstation layout. So if the layout, you can see how he moves here. So this is an irregular manner. Instead of going straight, he has to go from one place to another and then goes here, then finally reaching here. So these are all unnecessary steps. So from here, if you can directly go to here, then that is the most efficient motion with the least minimal time. So that is how we are improving such a waste. So one of the reason for that is poor workstation layout. Next comes poor production planning. So if the production planning is not done, so then if we are taking the example of tools at a workstation, if it is placed irregularly at one place, you are placing one tool, after taking it you are not returning it, you are putting in the workstation itself. So if multiple number of tools are present on the workstation bench, then you have to sufficiently look for the particular tool for a particular time. So if you are replacing it, then it does not take that much time. So that all comes under production planning. So if you're not planning ahead, then obviously motion waste will be encountered. Then next one, poor process design. Again, processes under productivity also comes under production planning, and if you are poorly creating a process design, then again motion waste will be encountered. Then shared equipment and machines. So this is another type of motion waste. So if we are having shared equipment in the sense uh, two or more labors are given a single machine to operate from. Each are doing same operations, maybe a hammering operation. Okay, if an object has to be hammered, and one person first takes the object, hammers it, then next person hammers the other one. So if the hammering is not up to the specification, he has to incline the product in such a manner as to give the hammering a proper condition. So he will take some time to adjust it, then the hammering is done. So at that time, the second worker is waiting for the first worker to complete the hammering process. So this is what happens when you are giving a shared equipment or machines itself. If you are sharing, that again uh, cost, motion, waste. So that is what is happening under shared equipment. Then siloed equipment operations. Sorry, siloed operations. Siloed means uh, storage and working together. That is what is coming under siloed operations. Same as shared equipment. Here, multiple number of peoples will be present. Okay, and they will be working on work in progress parts or work in progress products. So these are being worked under siloed operations, and multiple number of people will be present. So if there is no planning between the people, or there is no synchronicity or harmonious working between the workers, again there will be motion waste, and that also comes under motion waste. Then next one, lack of production standards. So there will be certain standards set for doing the work. Maybe here itself you can see in the diagram. Maybe the work can be completed in this straight line itself. So there will be a standard procedure for that. And if you are not properly following the standardized procedure, or if there is no standardized procedure provided, then obviously motion waste exists. How to eliminate motion waste? Two methods. Ensure that the work areas are logically organized, that is by 5S system. So we'll be studying about 5S system. Then consider alternative arrangements of equipment that reduce motion. So to reduce motion, we are giving alternate arrangements of equipment. So we are giving each and every person uh, an equipment or a machine is given so as to reduce motion waste. So the organized place always reduces motion waste. So an organized place typical example is given here. So you can see how the tools are scattered on the floor, and he has to find, if you have to find the right one, he has to take some time to find the right one. But if you are taking in a sorted manner, see the tools are arranged here in a sorted manner, and the tool that you have required is taken here. After using it, it is returned to that previous position, so as you can easily access the product. So that is a typical example, and that comes under the 5S. Then comes alternate arrangements of equipment that reduce motion. So that is coming under value stream mapping. We are providing each worker with individual equipment or machines and that is coming under value stream mapping. So according to the value of the operations to be carried out, we are giving equipments to the worker. So these are how motion waste is eliminated. And the last type of waste is non-utilized talent. So from the name itself, you know what is non-utilized talent. The skill of the worker is not being properly used. So if that occurs, then it is known as a waste. Why does it become a waste? It becomes a waste because a trained staff and a fresher takes, the level of skill will be very different. The skilled worker completes the work under a smaller period of time when compared with the fresh uh, fresh freshers. So that is what is coming under non-utilized talent. Also, if you are placing a worker who is skilled in a particular operation in another operation, so if he is skilled in packaging and you are assigning him to a production process such as maybe um, in the example of a hammering itself. So if you are placing the worker in such an operation, he tends to take some time to attain that skill level, right? So his skill was in packaging, but he is then being assigned to an hammering operation. So if such a thing is happening, okay, then we are terming it as a non-utilized talent waste, because obviously the time taken by that particular employee for that particular operation will be less than his previous job. Okay, maybe in the same manner, if a person is skilled at packaging and he goes to another company and is not given such a work, he's given another type of work, again the same problem occurs. There will be a non-utilized talent. So the company has to identify such talents, the talented areas of an employee, so as to reduce non-utilized talent encountered waste. Then another problem that encounters under non-utilized talent is that if he is present in that particular operation and there is a pure management of communication between the workers or the supervisors, employers, etc., then again non-utilized talent will be there, because he has to become trained, right? And if he's not understanding the operation that is being done, or how to coordinate with the workers that is present, if numerous workers are there, then again there will be non-utilized talent waste. So examples of non-utilized talent waste, or it includes poor communication. First one is poor communication between employer and employee, or between employees and employees. All comes under poor communication. Then failure to involve people in workplace design and development. So, in at the start of the production cycle, we are standardizing certain procedures, and then we are developing that procedures, right? So, if people are not included in such a planning or development standardizing procedure, then they will have again pure poor communication. So that is coming second point also. It is overall mentioned as poor communication. So if he's not knowing about such an operation, then again there will be non-utilized talent, because he is not learning what all standardized procedure is being implemented. Next one is lack of or inappropriate policies. Inappropriate policies in the sense, you are if there is a policy such as a worker has to work at a certain department for this period of time and then has to be shifted. So if such a rule exists, then Mm, obviously, non-utilized talent will be there, because the worker is skilled at the previous operation. When compared to the new operation, it takes some time to become trained, and thereby non-utilized talent will be a talent waste will be encountered. So that is another one of lack of or inappropriate policies. Then comes incomplete measures. Incomplete measures is coming under standardization. So if the standardization or the standardization of the procedures to be carried out is not complete, then again non-utilized talent will be encountered, because the fresher will not have any idea to um for the operations to be carried out, or he will not be efficient to carry out the procedures in the short amount of time, and hence non-utilized talent waste will be encountered. Then comes poor management and lack of team training. So poor management in the sense, the management between employers, supervisors, managers, etc., in controlling the workers, or the smooth flow and standardization, etc., comes under poor management. And lack of team training is nothing but the poor communication between the workers can be solidified by doing a team training. So as to uh, negotiate the wastes that require during motion waste. Okay, so in a motion waste we have studied about siloed operation, and under siloed operation multiple number of workers are there. So some operations require such a this one, in forging operations and all, you have observed in videos and all, that there will be multiple number of workers working in a synchronicity, and this synchronicity is obtained by a team training, so as they will not reduce any time. And if that is not being done, then non-utilized talent waste will be encountered. And some of the ways of eliminating uh, eliminating talent waste is nothing but developing strong coaching skills for managers. So we have to, so it is a higher management problem basically. uh, the assigning of freshers happens, and such a thing is eliminated by developing strong coaching skills for managers. Next are stages of 5S. So 5S is nothing but the letter S. You can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all are sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. All are starting with the letter S, and five types of stages for creating lean manufacturing is being followed, and such a technique is known as 5S technique, and it is basically sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. First one, sort. Okay, sort, it is written here Seiri. This is nothing but it is a Japanese technique that is implemented across the world. And first it was started in a Japanese system, and then followed by each and every industry. And hence, the Japanese terms are shown here. Okay, it is nothing but this is Japanese terms. So first one, it is sort, and it translates to tidiness. So how clean the workstation or that environment is coming under sort. So that is the first step, and it translates to tidiness. The goal of sort step is to eliminate clutter and clear up the space by removing things that don't belong in the area. So if there are multiple number of things present in that workstation, first you will be sorting it out. So we'll be sorting out individual tools, and the like tools are separated and kept at one place. So you can see if it is arranged in a like manner, so each and everything is of the same shape and for the same purpose, then it is arranged in a single manner. So it can, an example will be spanner sets, or uh, screwdrivers, etc., are used for the same purpose, and depending upon the length and all, it is then sorted at first. Then uh, under sorting you will get some items that don't belong in your station, or you don't have any particular operations with that things. Those are removed, or uh, or placed at another place for further use that I'll explain in the next point. So first step will be clearing the work area. So in this step, we will be taking the tools, materials, etc. in the work area, and we'll be clearing them out, and a fresh space is created. And from that fresh space, we are putting back equipments that we need and arranging them. Basically, the example I have mentioned earlier about the spanner set. So we are arranging them. Then we will get items that we don't need. Okay, such items we are red tagging it. So these are unknown items and they are temporarily red tagged. Okay, red tag in the sense we are marking it by means of a color, and after marking we are placing it in a red tag items bin or a particular box, and we are after placing it we are reassigning these tagged items. So what is coming under reassigning the tagged items? Any uh, pro, any tools or that products we require in another department or another workstation is then reassigned to that particular workstation or even to a particular department. So that is called a reassigning tagged item. So it need not be reassigning of every products, because every product may not be required, and only the required ones are sent to each department or a workstation. So that is a reassigning tagged items. So these are the steps that is coming under sort. Then comes set in order. Next one is set in order. So set in order is orderliness. So we are to keep it in an order. So a typical example is shown here. Different tools are there. The same set of tools are sorted here. This is sorting. Okay, hammers are sorted here, but it is kept in order. So multiple number of tools are there. There is a saw, there is a sharpener, there is hammers, then comes spanners, etc. So these are then set in order. So there is an order here. See, it is kept in an order so that you can easily obtain, or to reduce the motion waste. We have studied about the 5S system. So that is one of the system that is taken for eliminating motion waste. So for that purpose, we are setting in order, or we are keeping it in an ordered manner. So the goal of this step is to organize the work area. Each item should be easy to find. So you have to find it easily and you have to use it, then return it. If you don't return it, it will be cluttered around the workstation and it will be difficult to take it for the next operation. So during the next operation, if you require that particular tool, then it will be difficult to take it from that clutter. So if you are placing it in this order, then then you can take it easy. Then it will be easy to find. After that, you can use it. After using it, you have to return it. If you don't return, it will be difficult to find. Then a place for everything and a place everything in its place. That is the slogan for set in order. A place for everything and everything in its place. So that is how orderliness is maintained. So for ensuring orderliness, we are first building a 5S map. 5S map is nothing but we are arranging the workplace down and then mapping it out. Mapping it out in the sense, after arranging the tools, the operations that has to be carried with that particular tools or with that particular machine is then mentioned as a data, or we are data standardizing the 5S system for each and every work that has to be carried out. So that is coming under building 5S map. Next one is communicating the plan. So after building this 5S map, um, each workers, so in a particular department there will be many workers doing the same operation itself. Okay, if there is a milling operation or the cutting operation that is carried out for the product, and then it is being transported to another department. So it is not always a single worker who is cutting that and sending it to another place. There will be multiple number of workers, and each workers are provided the same workbench, the same cutter machine, etc. Okay, and once one workstation is standardized or a 5S map is built in one workstation, that same map can be followed by the other station. So that is coming under standardization. A standardized map is created and then distributed to each workstation to be followed by that plan. So that is coming under communicating the plan. Okay, and also by this communication, we are assigning the red tagged items that we mentioned earlier. That red tagged items assigning is also being done during the communication of the 5S plan. So these are all coming under set in order. Then next comes shine. So from the name itself, shine says cleanliness. So it means cleanliness. So we have to keep our environment clean. So if there is any wires or such that is present in the floor area, obviously the worker moving from one place to another will trip over this wire and will cause accidents, which is a loss of time in the sense of an industry. So obviously the work area and the surroundings must be clean. Okay, it doesn't mean cleaning it with water, etc. It is meant that in no tools or wastes has to be occurred around in the surrounding areas, and hence has to be clean. Even if it is cleaned by water, wet floors are never considered as clean. Okay, it has to be a dry floor itself, and wet floor again is the same problem as in the case of tripping of wire. We will be tripping again by means of water, okay, due to the wet floor, and even it may cause accidents such as electrical accidents, and these are due to the wet floor, and hence it is an unclean environment if it is wet. So it has to always to be dry. So that is coming under shine. Also there must not be any dirt or grime. There must not be any dirts present in the surroundings, or it will obviously affect the work. Maybe when if the tool that we are going to be used is corroded in the sense it is rusted, and if it is rusted and you are particularly using it, this rust will be affecting the particular product operations that is being carried out, and it may even provide an unclean hands, right? The rust will be present in our hands and we have to properly wash it. So if it was a clean tool or a fresh tool, you will not encounter such a problems, and hence if it is clean, we are reducing such time of waste that is occurring due to cleaning. So if you are keeping it in a clean manner, so if you are keeping it in an order and the wastes are removed in a particular periodic manner, then obviously the place and surroundings will be clean, and you can easily utilize the operations. So how to maintain cleaning is nothing but a routine cleaning. So routine cleaning in the sense a period is set for the cleaning operations to be carried out, maybe clearing out the waste, sorting the equipments, etc. So always after the work period, the workstation is kept clean, right? After the operations are done, we are cleaning the equipment or cleaning the surroundings related to the workstation. So in the lathe lab itself, you have encountered such a thing. After you are done with the lab, you are cleaning out the lathe and its surrounding with the bit. Okay, the bits that are provided on the floor, or it will be occurring during your operations, and these are cleaned out from the late for the next operation, or during when you come from to the next day, it will be a clean environment and you can use it easily. If it is a dirty environment, you have to take sufficient time to clean it, and also it will hinder our operations. So for that purpose, a routine cleaning has to be done. Then preventive maintenance. So another problem is, maybe if it is using a motor based or an engine based machine, etc., is being used, you know that engines always produce exhaust, right? So exhaust in the sense smoke. So smoke, once it is deposited on some surfaces, uh, it will provide some tiny black particles, right, near its surface. So these then hinder the operation of the machine or that particular equipment. So we have to always create, so a preventive maintenance or a maintenance period is mentioned by the manufacturer of the particular machine, or by the industry itself. It is stating after a period of 1 month, the equipment has to be maintained. So maintenance has to be carried out, and this maintenance is done so as not to fail. So the equipment will not fail under operation. So failure of the operation, failure of the equipment during an operation results in delayed time, right? And this has to be prevented, and this is also coming under cleanliness, right? We are cleaning out, or we are maintaining the engine or that equipment, and this is done so as no accidents or shutting down that do not happen, and hence it is termed as preventive maintenance. So you're preventing any accidents or delays to be happened. Next one is standardize. So what comes under standardize is nothing but writing down what is being done, where and by whom. You can incorporate the new practices into normal work procedure. So we have already studied a standardized procedure in LM tools itself, and that same is being followed here. So one of the typical ways it is being done is nothing but we are looking at what operation is being done and where and by whom it is being done. So at which place it is being done and by whom. So if it is a skilled worker, you will be observing that, and we will standardize certain procedures that has to be done. So maybe the first procedure coming under raw materials will be to clean the raw material. Then comes removing the impurities. Then the raw materials is broken down. So these are all operations that is standardized. It is never then changed. Only if it is incurring less time, then we are changing that method, but the operation still is being carried in the same manner itself. So we are cleaning it, removing impurities, then broken down into small pieces, etc. Okay, so that is the standardized procedure. And the ways in which we ensure that is nothing but first is writing things down. So a habit of standardizing must always include writing things down. If you do not write this thing down, if you are looking at certain operations carried out by a skilled worker, you are memorizing it in your head, and you are going to your workstation to make that happen. Maybe for one or two operations you may remember the procedure, but after a certain while you will naturally forget it. So that is the problem of memorizing by brain. So always we'll be writing things down, maybe in the form of a document or in the diary or notepad, etc. Anyhow, we are writing things down of the standardized procedure. Then we are using tools for standardizing. So tools such as using 5S checklist, job cycle charts, procedure labels and signs. Okay, these all contribute for standardizing. So we have seen uh, standardizing in a lab and all. So if any accidents occur, you will see maybe 5 step. They'll be provided in a poster and all, right? What all you have to do? You have to first open the first aid kit. You have to apply the proper medicine. You have to tie it up. Then visit the physician. So these are all coming under the standardized procedure if a accident occurs under a lab or under a operation. So that is some of the labels and signs that is providing, and these are all standardized methods to be done for a particular operation. Okay, I will continue the rest of the portion in the next session.